his life. There's nothing like being a conquering hero and coming home.
That, especially defending the heavyweight championship of the world.
And he's got an uncharacteristic smile on his face as he come up. This fight probably has cost him $300,000 or $400,000 because he could have gotten that much more money to fight in Atlantic City or Las Vegas.
Well, again, he wanted the hometown people behind him, and they're here.
Evander Holyfield has had 26 fights and has won them all. And now the crowd goes into the characteristic chant that dominated the audio portion of the World Series for the 3 games that were played here in Atlanta.
I don't know if it's politically correct anymore to do a tomahawk chop, but it may be the most appropriate place for it because they're looking for Holyfield to use the chop in the ring.
And certainly Cooper will be hoping to be brave. 26-0, 21 KOs, the overwhelming majority of those fights in the cruiserweight division. Remember, he only became a heavyweight less than 3 years ago. And we'll look at the tail of the tape, and you will see that among several advantages, one of them is that Evander has a significant height advantage over Cooper, 3.5 inches in his favor. Cooper 5 pounds heavier. Holyfield, the more mature of the 2 fighters at 29 years of age.
I think we should point out here, Jim, that Holyfield really didn't weigh 210 at the weigh-in. He wore his shoes and his sweats on. He's been training for 2.5 of the last 3 months with great intensity. His weight really was down around 2.6 or 2.7.
Punch stat numbers, Larry.
And here we have a cross-section view of how active these fighters are and the kind of punches they throw and how accurate they are. And you could see Holyfield lands a very high percentage of the shots he throws. And here you see the number of jabs as well as hard punches they will throw. And for Cooper, the jab is just a rumor.
And the rules of the bout with Harold Letterman.
Evander Holyfield and Smokin Bert Cooper will fight tonight using a combination of rules from the Georgia State Athletic Commission, the IBF, and the WBA. 3 judges will score the fight on the 10-point must system. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round. And Jim, if the fight is stopped because of a cut produced by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 6 rounds have been completed. It's a technical draw up to the end of the 6th round.
Harold, are we sure there's no 3 knockdown rule?
Absolutely, Jim. No 3 knockdown rule in a world title fight.
All right, let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Main Events Monitor Productions, in association with Rick Parker presents, and the undisputed, undefeated king of beer, Budweiser, presents the featured bout of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, let me have your attention, please. Last week, one of boxing's fine young champions was injured in an automobile accident. Tonight, he's home and well on the road to recovery. He's a 2-time world champion and currently holds the WBA Junior Middleweight Championship of the world. His name, Vinny Pazienza. On behalf of the fans here in Atlanta, Georgia, and the millions of fans watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause and a wish for speedy recovery to the Paz. We love you, Vinny. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is sanctioned by the Georgia State Boxing Commission, Chairman Lindsey Rouse, Commissioners in attendance, Dr. Ron Stevens, Paul Carter, and Dr. Chris Vaughn. The Chief of Officials, Jerry Michael. Physicians in attendance, Dr. Victor Bouquet, Dr. Jack Burge. The timekeeper, Phil Latigo. Counting for the knockdown seconds, Al Pruitt. This bout is also sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, President Robert W. Lee, Supervisor at ringside, Al Goodman, and the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor in attendance, Alberto Sarmiento. The 3 judges assigned to score this bout on a 10-point must system are Isidro Rodriguez, John Rupert, and Sheila Harmon Martin. And the man in charge of the action once the bell rings, working for the 56th time in a title bout, is referee Mills Lane. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Atlanta, Georgia, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks with silver trim, weighing an even 215 pounds. He has a professional record of 26 victories with 7 defeats, and he has demonstrated his punching power, scoring 23 KOs in those 26 victories. Ladies and gentlemen, ranked number 12 by the IBF, fighting out of Salem, Virginia, the challenger, Smokin Bert Cooper. And across the ring in the blue corner, his opponent, wearing the blue and gold colors and weighing an even 210 pounds. This 1984 Olympic bronze medalist was the first of his great 84 U.S. Olympic team to win a world title as a professional. That was for the Cruiserweight Championship. He now is a 2-time world champion with a perfect record of 26-0, 21 knockout victories. Ladies and gentlemen, from Atlanta, Georgia, presenting the undisputed, heavyweight champion of the world, Evander Real Deal Holyfield.
If he goes right there, I'm not going to call it low, okay? Now, this is for the championship of the world. Expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on. Come on.
Question in my mind, Gil, since Holyfield looks dry and cold, will he come out here and really just take it out of Cooper immediately, let him know he doesn't have a chance to win, or is he going to let Cooper build his confidence?
Well, you know, I think this first round is very significant again in front of the hometown people. Maybe trying a little too hard. You have to remember, he hasn't had a fight in 217 days, and Bert Cooper has been an active fighter.
And while Cooper has broken a sweat and does look warmed up, Evander Holyfield, as Larry Merchant pointed out, is completely dry. And Holyfield starts out establishing the jab. Cooper throws a long right hand and misses. Evander will not want to let Cooper inside with his face on his chest. That's where Bert is most effective. Good body punches by Holyfield. Cooper loses his balance. He was in serious trouble there for a moment. And Holyfield hit him twice when he got himself straight.
Holyfield wobbled him a little bit with that left hook.
And he got an uppercut in there too. Cooper is groggy for a second. Holyfield with a chance for an uncharacteristic early knockout. He's not normally that kind of fighter. It's been 6 years since Evander Holyfield scored a first-round knockout, back when he weighed about 180 pounds. The right cross was a beauty, and down goes Bert Cooper.
It's a left hook in the body, Jim, was the punch that really hurt him. After the right hand, he took a left hook underneath. Beautiful left hook to the body.
Long time to go in the first round. Cooper comes over the top with a right, but he left himself open.
There's that quick right hand of Cooper's on the inside. Very effective with that right hand, Cooper.
He looks as though his head is clearing.
Come on. Get those punches up. Look. Hey, get those punches up. Come on.
You see a guy go down like a body shot. In this division, you think of Tyson Spinks. Another right hand right on the button, but that time Cooper didn't budge.
Come on, Evander. Keep him up. Let's go.
Well, Evander is surprising me. He's really not using any lateral movement at all. He's right there. He's fighting with a fighter.
And And this is what he said he wouldn't do.
The next time you go down there, it's going to cost you a point. Come on.
Evander really didn't like that low blow. Pulled his trunks down even further.
Now Cooper is starting to land that right hand over the top. He's gotten it in there twice. Holyfield off balance after missing the right, but he comes back with a left to the body. And Cooper's covering up again.
Well, Evander is getting the best of this round, but he certainly is fighting a Cooper-type round.
I agree with you, Gil. We all thought that Cooper was a good opponent for Holyfield because he would have to box and move against him as he will against big heavyweights, including Tyson. But he's elected to take the initiative.
When you get inside, stay close to him as you can. When you get in there, get that body. Okay? Yeah. Come on, pants out.
You just heard in the corner, they're telling him to go for the body. Apparently, they saw a soft underbelly there. And Holyfield was following orders, apparently, because that was as wicked a body shot as you'll see him ever land.
There you go. Check this out.
And Larry, you spoke of the accuracy of Holyfield's punching before the fight. He landed 49 of 76 punches, according to PunchStat in round one, 65% connect rate.
And give Cooper credit for surviving that. He's come here determined to fight.
Of course, some people look at Holyfield Foreman and say, well, Evander doesn't have a heavyweight punching power.
Well, this is the Cooper, in my opinion, that fought Ray Mercer. He certainly got hurt with that left hook to the body, but he got up and he's bombing back, as you can see there. He's determined.
We've got a war early on.
And so many things can happen in a fight when guys are fighting the way Holyfield is fighting Cooper. They can bang heads, they can get busted up. I mean, I'm sure that they're very concerned in Holyfield's corner. In my opinion, he can use lateral movement to just completely outbox Cooper, but he's chose to fight him and get him out of there.
A lot of people asked Holyfield's co-trainer Lou Duva about the mental adjustment problem of fighting somebody on 1 week's notice, and Duva said, well, I want my guy to get hit a couple of times. It'll clear his head and wake him up.
Well, he's been hit a couple of times, Jim.
We also have to wonder, Gil, whether this crowd enthusiasm hasn't stirred Holyfield up.
Well, that's what we were talking about. He's fighting in front of his hometown fans, and he may be trying to be a little too impressive. He's got nailed with a couple of pretty good punches this round.
Holyfield digs a left to the chest. Cooper has landed 2 or 3 straight rights.
Well, you know, most Philadelphia fighters are left hookers, but you have to really watch Bert Cooper's right hand. It's a sneaky short right hand.
That's one area where he's gotten a lot better. He was almost exclusively a left hooker early in his career. Of course, that was what Frazier was teaching. Right hand to the body by Holyfield. Cooper wobbles again. Good uppercut by Cooper.
That was the Mike Tyson combination. Wide right hand that bring the right hand underneath.
Good left to the body by Cooper inside. And the right hand.
There's that sneaky right hand right on the button.
Since the knockdown midway through round one, it's been an even fight. Round two coming to a close. Bert Cooper establishing himself. Evander Holyfield banging away.
Right, let's get back time. Ho, 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 ho.
Listen, I want you to sit down on this round, you understand? Sit down and look. Stop tiring him up. Let him fire. So use your defense. And when you make him fire, make him miss him, then hit him in that body, you see? So we're tying him up and using a lot of energy. Deep breath. All right, now take a deep breath. Come on.